Hello and welcome to the Boss Cave. I am the boss, and with me today I have the Chia Chad,
Woo!
and from across the sea and over the way, Batar.
Good evening.
So now, Batar, you're new here for the podcast, so you want to give a little explanation of who you are, what you do, and where they can follow you at, if you have one.
Well, following will be hard. I neither have Twitter or Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
My brother.
So.
But I'm from the Netherlands, so way over,
Mm-hmm.
and I will see how this ragtag team of American ungraceful colonialists will fare.
Hey, I'm American.
Chad's from hell.
No. I just spawned from...
Oh, there he goes. He's going back.
Hey, I spawned from Cthulhu. Leave me alone.
Alright. Well, on the menu today, we got some pretty interesting news stories. We got some news stories from Chad, who's going to be telling us more about some fighting game and competitive gaming news, as well
Absolutely.
as some stories from just regular pop culture. So I'm going to start it off with saying, what's new with you guys? You know, as I usually do. What's good with you guys?
You know, I'm gonna give the honor of starting the Batar.
Okay. How's your
Well,
So what's
before we
been up
start,
with you lately?
yeah? How's your day been?
Yeah.
the day itself went pretty well. Mostly preparing for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have we hold semi-big board game
Yeah.
day every other month, which is tomorrow.
Hmm.
And then people from all over the Netherlands. We even had French people at one point
Really?
come over to play board games.
Hmm.
Huh.
That's cool. It must be so interesting living in Europe because I've lived there for a month before that you can just walk, you know, to another country if you're in right areas. Whereas here in America, it's like if you want to get to Canada, you gotta
Oh, you
go
want to
through
go to another state?
you gotta go through like a security checkpoint where they look you up and down to make sure that you're not brown. And if you even have the slightest hint of melanin in your color or in your skin, then you're likely to get shot. So
Sucks to be you. Oh
yeah,
wait.
yeah.
Hey, that's me.
Oof.
At the border of, primarily at the border of the Netherlands and Belgium, there are
Mhm.
literally stores crossing the border. So you enter in the Netherlands, yet the backside of the store is in Belgium. Or a restaurant.
Oh
The
wow.
restaurant itself is in Belgium, but the out area, the terrace, is in the Netherlands.
Hmm.
It's strange.
Yeah, I bet. But anyways, Chad, how's your day been? Before we get into the news.
My day has been wonderful.
Yeah, fading out of existence
It's
seems
been
kind of
great.
fun. My day's been
Yeah, it
pretty good
does. That's
too.
the void trying to pull me back.
Alright, so first bit of news we got here is coming from PC Gamer, the Firewatch devs. I don't know if you guys remember Firewatch, it was a fun little game. The Firewatch developers are all now Valve employees, except for two of them, but they didn't name which two. So basically, right now, Firewatch and not their company, but most of their actual staff has been hired by Valve, but retain creative freedom, meaning that they are allowed to pretty much make whatever game they want with Valve money. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see because Valve lost a lot of their creative talent in the past couple years. They lost like Dave Santori, who wrote a lot of the lore behind Half-Life. They've lost, I think, two of their other main writers, who I don't remember their name, and just a lot of their really creative and talented people. And of course, Gaben's always going to be there, but you know, the day that Gaben steps down from Steam
Yeah, man.
will be a dark day. And then they're teasing a game right
Yeah.
now. They're saying that they're looking to make an extended version of Firewatch that focuses more on environment
Huh.
more on environmental storytelling and engine capabilities. So it seems to me, at least, like it's going to be a sequel, and I kind of hope that they do, because with Valve money, they could do pretty much anything they want. And some news from last week that we didn't get to talk about because of Monday show. Fortnite is going to jump on the Avengers Infinity War train and are releasing a Thanos character that you can play as in a limited time mode. Becomes kind of like a they're saying it's like a free for all thing. I don't know exactly how to put it, but it's free for all, kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where there are supposedly going to be vehicles and guns that you can pick up off the ground, and it's going to be less structured like a battle royale and more like a fight to the death with teams almost. So we'll have to see what comes from them. They don't seem like they have an exact vision for what they're going to do with this, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless.
Yeah.
And then some other last week news. Zelda Breath of the Wild apparently is going to get a sequel. It is all but confirmed because of several things. There is a job advert in Japan right now calling for a level designer to work on a new Zelda game. There are translators being hired right now to work on a new game. There's rumblings from the director, sorry if I mispronounced his name, Hidemaru Fubayakashi, who previously said that the concept ideas that were not used in Breath of the Wild are going to be recycled and used for the next Zelda game. And so it's all coming down to say, E3, we might see some fireworks off a brand new Zelda game if they decide to keep a lot of the groundwork that Breath of the Wild has, which I would 100% say so. Also, it only in the past couple weeks has Super Mario Odyssey exceeded Breath of the Wild in sales. Breath of the Wild used to have 8.5 million sales worldwide, being the most popular game on the console, until just 1 month ago when Mario Odyssey passed it and is now currently sitting at 10.41 million units shipped. And that's...
Yeah, I was going to say it would be strange if they wouldn't make a sequel to the Zelda game.
Of course.
I only didn't expect it so soon.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see, because some of the developer interviews with people who worked on it are saying that the actual what's it called, engine was the hardest thing to make of the new Zelda series, and it really does show.
Absolutely.
Because other than a few hiccups, being able to run a game of that scale on a screen that's less than an inch thick, or less than 5 centimeters thick for our European viewers, is just simply amazing. Honestly, if you think about it, just think about the PSP and the PS Vita and how massive the flop was the PS Vita. And then only a few years, I think, PS Vita came out in 2004? 2014, my bad?
Yeah, I was about to say 4.
2014. I was on the right number. I had the wrong number before, though.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't underestimate the PS Vita sales in Japan.
Oh, yes.
It sell pretty well.
I know. It was crazy there.
It was crazy there. And some more last week's news. EA Star Wars not giving up microtransactions on Battlefront 2. And in fact, that they said that the controversial loot boxes have been unavailable because they are trying to revamp the system, hopefully for the better. And it's become kind of a big scandal over in Europe right now because of something that the Belgian Gaming Commission did. They pretty much outright labeled loot boxes as gambling. And the Hawaii gaming regulation, gaming as in gambling, has also labeled its loot box system as a casino. It's saying that if EA wants to continue to have loot boxes on its online thing, they have to get permissions in Hawaii to be a casino, which is extremely fascinating to see how EA is going to get around this and really say stuff. And they have in the article here some of the things that they're saying. Why did it fail? EA representatives feigning ignorance and saying, well, we don't actually know why it failed. Ultimately, we had test data and market statistics here that say that, loot boxes aren't that big of a problem. And then everybody going, yeah, but they kind of are gambling, especially with your really, really shitty gambling system.
Let me just buy my skins, fam.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. And
not like and yeah, continue.
no, go ahead, Chad. I was just gonna add. I was just gonna add
it's-
how EA is getting their Star Wars license pulled from them.
What, for real this time?
Hopefully,
Good.
Star Wars owners Disney have been saying for a while now that they are considering pulling creative licenses from EA and giving it to other companies in order to make better Star Wars games. And all I can hope for is Lightsaber Academy, or what's it called?
Absolutely.
Padawan Academy, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope for another Padawan Academy because those were awesome.
They really were.
And
But see, maybe this kick in the balls might teach them a couple of things.
and
Maybe.
before I get on to our last piece of news, which will tie into our topic, I'm going to throw it over to Chad and let him do some of his news. So go ahead, Chad. Tell them what's
Alright,
skinny.
So, right now we got some controversy going on with Overwatch, boys.
What else is new?
Yeah. Okay, so you know that recently,
Yeah.
Overwatch released a new skin for Mercy.
Yes.
It's a pink themed one in support of breast cancer research,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the cosmetic costs what, $15? Or yeah, $15 to get, 13 pounds. If you use that conversion rate.
Yeah. I don't know what it is
So,
for euro. I think it'd be like maybe 10 or 15, 10 or 12 euro. But continue.
something like that.
Yeah, continue.
But the PlayStation Store entries, however, say all the proceeds, the entire amount that you spend on it goes directly to breast cancer, research, right?
Uh-huh.
The PlayStation Store, however, said that they will they'll donate 10.12 pounds or local currency equivalent from the proceeds to breast cancer research. So this suggests that Sony is taking approximately 2.88 pounds, cut from the purchases of the charity item, for whatever reason. I don't know.
So
Yeah, a lot of people are in uproar about that because
what I want to know is which breast cancer charity is it going to? Is it going to like a shitty one like Susan G or like a really good one? Like
it's going to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
All right, that's a good
straight
one.
To that.
That one's a good one. If you don't know, Susan G got into a lot of controversy because it pays its CEOs thousands upon thousands of dollars just because it can, and doesn't spend all that much on research. So continue, Chad.
Yeah. So basically, Sony didn't elaborate where the other 288 was going. Blizzard basically said, "Hey, we can't comment on pricing for other platforms other than Battle.net." So yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Sony reacts to that.
Moving along, it's gonna be pretty bad. Moving along, got some news for BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle for you out there. All right, people. The open beta for those who have pre-ordered has opened as of 2 days ago, May 9th, right? And will be open till May 14th for those who, again, pre-ordered it off the PlayStation Store, right? However, for those who didn't pre-order it, tomorrow you can enter the open beta. Literally just go to the PlayStation Store and download it. And that's apparently what looks like to be 4 o'clock Japan's whatever JST stands for. Hey,
Japan Standard
Time.
Time.
It'll also be open till the 14th as well. You just get in a bit later. Yeah, you just get in a bit, later. But basically, all 20 base characters are going to be in this open beta. They're fully playable. And available game modes you'll have is casual lobby, tactics mode, and versus mode with both, versus CPU or second player.
Will there be any
And
story?
in case you don't know the roster, might as well. There will be a story mode in the full game,
Oh, okay. I thought
from what I've been
they
seeing.
might give us a teaser for the story mode. Maybe. Hopefully.
I don't know. They might,
Who knows? Maybe a trailer would do.
but yeah. So those. Oh yeah, that would be good. But yeah, in case you missed it, of course you got characters from sort of 4 separate games: Blaze Blue, Persona 4 Arena, Ruby, and Under Night In-Birth.
Hmm.
And of course, the roster is as follows: so Blaze Blue, you got Ragnar the Blood Edge, a real fan favorite; Jin Kisaragi, Rachel Alucard, Hazama, and Noel Vermillion. For Persona 4 Arena, you got Yu Narukami, Yosuke
Main
Hanamura,
character.
and Chie Satonaka.
The main character,
Hopefully,
the
at least as
biggest
far as
bro, and the girl.
Hmm?
The main character, the biggest bro, and the girl.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Some say best girl. Some, not I.
Sure.
But of course, from Ruby, so far you only have
Ruby.
yeah. So far from Ruby, you only have Ruby Rose and Wai Shnee.
Yeah. Which
Mhm.
is it's
Whereas Blake, Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolong will be DLC, free DLC, but DLC nonetheless. Yeah. And for Under Night In-Birth on release, you have Hyde, Lene, and Volstein. So yeah,
That'll be a
those of
very
you who love 2D fighters, and especially anime fighters,
yeah.
go for it.
You better get your hands on Blaze Blue before everybody does get their hands on Blaze Blue and then becomes better than you.
Blaze Blue cross tag battle people.
Yep. And so the final piece of news.
And lastly for me,
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry. What was the last piece of news?
yeah,
for you?
just one other thing. There's a Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is coming to the Switch. So those of you who are fans of Generations, specifically for Valfalk, best monster ever, here we go. We're getting an Ultimate version of Generations, or Double Cross if you want to call it that. Either way, rejoice, Hunter brethren. Have fun.
Alright, and the last piece of news we have here is pop culture news that relates to our topic for today. And it is that the Childish Gambino This Is America music video is currently one of the biggest viewership in the world for a YouTube video. It is 75 million views on American YouTube as the current date of May 11th is. However, on Japanese YouTube and on Chinese YouTube, it's reached 30 million in 48 hours since its release. It was #1 on all YouTube platforms other than America, Canada, and Norway for the entirety of the week that it released, up to last Thursday. And that was the news I wanted to mention on Monday, because it was still #1 during that time. And it ties into our topic for today, which is music videos and artists. Because I wanted to talk a little bit about how the music video of This Is America is so deeply layered with American iconography and just symbols that really portray what's going on in America right now. And they had a really good story to it, I should say. And I'll throw it over to some of my guests here for some other views. We have Chad. He is if you don't know, Chad is an African American living in the South. So some of the problems raised in the video directly affect him, and he can give us his opinion on it. And Batar, who lives in another country that's not America. So I would love to hear his take on how an outsider looking in on American politics and American problems really sees. So let's start talking about the themes of This Is America. And have you guys seen it yet? I know you've seen it, Chad.
Oh, absolutely.
But
I have.
what
It's a
about
I'm
banger.
literally scrolling through it now.
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Well, it's very, very good musically. Anything by Childish Gambino is extremely good. And
And this is a bit more of his experimental stuff, but you
Yes,
know what? Still good.
this is a very experimental stage in comparison to some of his earlier tracks, such as 3005 or Bonfire or um, you know, Redbone. But they all portray the same sort of theme of this small town black man who is being raised through his own music and through his own culture. You can hear that through Bonfire, where he literally talks about some of the horrendous parts of slavery and how it affects him today. Um, and if you don't truly understand some of the context behind that, I would urge you to go watch the Bonfire music video, because it does a great detail outlining about how, without spoiling everything, white people like myself can ignore problems that affect people of color. And I don't know. He's from Atlanta, and Chad, you live in Georgia too, so
Yeah. In the not popular part of Georgia.
in the not popular part of Georgia. So I don't know. What do you think about the music video, Chad?
Well, I'll say this: the imagery of, I'll just say it right now. Man's is wearing Confederate pants in the music video.
Oh yes, that was one of the things that they alluded to in the reviews I've watched on it.
What I walk away from that with is just that, this is a real growing problem in the black community. Whereas you have some people that are of the idea that they're not being marginalized in any sort of way, or let me try and get this let me do this correctly here.
Okay, just take your time.
It sort of like mirrors the idea of certain people believing that certain popular black figures are in the quote unquote in certain corporations' back pockets.
We can say Kanye. I think that we're small enough to where we won't get backlash from calling him out.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not naming any names here though, just because I just don't feel like.
Yeah.
But the point is, yeah, no, like a certain, it's like, gosh, that's pretty much parodying, like seeing, black man in Confederate pants, just like, oh yeah, definitely. Certain prominent black figures and organizations are in back pockets.
Yeah, so like I remember watching an interview with Reverend Lawrence Fire. I don't know what his name is, but he was the one that was in Charlottesville during the Unite the Right rally, and he was talking about it recently on CNN, how the problems plaguing the black community, especially the southern black community, is that some individuals are convinced that racism no longer affects them because they've quote unquote gentrified themselves, which I felt it was an interesting take, especially when it's perceived in this music video. Like you said, that he was wearing Confederate pants. It definitely shows that there is some type of alluding to that I think Donald Glover is definitely trying to get at. And another thing that I've noticed people saying is that he's only wearing Confederate pants. He's not wearing anything on his top. So it symbolizes the South, because that's south of his body. And it's just very interesting to see the certain type of imagery. And one of the things I noticed immediately on my second or third viewing was how the disparity between the victims of the violent crimes in the music video are treated versus the murder weapons. I don't know if you saw, but after the first scene where Gambino executes the guitar player, if you haven't seen the music video, please go see it. It definitely I'll put a little warning. It is graphic. That's my warning.
It is.
That's my warning for you. He does kill a black guitar player with a hood on his head, and when he hands the gun to another person, they wrap it in this red velvet handkerchief, which can symbolize the pedestal that the modern Republicans, who are our right-wing party, in America are treating guns better than they are treating people who are killed by them. And if you look in the video, that the body of the man who's killed is just dragged away
Drag
quickly, I might add,
ceremoniously.
quickly, getting him off the screen, getting him onto another topic, and Gambino is starting to dance again, distracting you and moving on. And I'm kind of buying a little time here for Batar to go and watch the video a little bit, so I can get his opinion on it. So I guess I will throw it over to him. What is your opinion? What is your takeaway from it, coming from somebody who's not from America?
Well, first off, that entire huge discrepancy between the black community and the white community is much less here. There is some tension sometimes, but almost never. I think the biggest thing that happened here in the Netherlands was the Turkish rally for the vote there. And that is a half year ago.
But that's more immigrants coming from Middle Eastern countries, whereas instead of black people who grew up in your community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we do hear stories from from America, and indeed the big question mark here is indeed the guns. There are guns everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. As opposed to, I know that I've lived in Italy for about a month before, and you never saw guns. I was in the southern part. The only time I saw a gun was when the riot police were out because somebody jacked a car. They dove through the windshield, but never mess with Italian SWAT. They are fucking insane. I never saw anything other than my grandpa's antique one. That was it. That's all you saw, and that didn't even work. It was for show.
It's antique.
Yeah. It really shows the disparity of America, where we here put a gun on a pedestal as, oh, it's a tool. Guns don't kill people. People kill people, and all the NRA shtick that we have here. Whereas overseas,
Guns do help.
Overseas, yeah, they are tools. That is, of course, but they are tools for murder. And
Yeah.
if they're not tools for murder, they're tools to prevent a murder by the threat of murder. It's when you take everything out of context and say, well, just a gun's a tool. Yeah, it could sound, people kill people with hammers. Do we need to ban hammers? Of course not. That's not the point. A hammer is not designed to kill. It's not purpose built from thousands of years of technology to kill somebody. A gun is.
Exactly.
And
it's like, I can only fit a cannon into my hand. Hey, look.
yeah. I really think that we need to take, at least in America, we need to take guns off that pedestal and really evaluate how we want them in our society.
Well, see, the problem with that is how deeply that that cultural thing is ingrained, especially in the fucking South.
Of course, and I live in the north of the South, in Virginia.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a pretty purple state, and that means my state flip flops between left and right ideologies and views. I know that my state is very, very anti, not, I won't say anti-guns, but there are a lot of restrictions on what you can and can't use in the northern part of the state. I know in my own district, my own community, you're not allowed to fire a gun past a certain hour of day. You're not allowed to shoot a high-powered rifle over a certain caliber, and you're not allowed to hunt with certain type of weapons. But other than that, it's pretty much free reign. You have the property, you have the space, you can do whatever. Game wardens, which are our version of, I guess you could say ATF. I don't know if you guys have anything like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms agency over in Netherlands.
Not really. The only thing, the only organization that are allowed to use guns is the police force and the military. No one else.
Okay.
Actually, no one else is even allowed violence.
It's over here we have agencies that allow themselves to inspect firearms, inspect hunting grounds, inspect those things. And those main two are the Game and Warden Administration, which is for hunters more often than not, but they do administer a lot of safety checks and gun checks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the ATF agency, which really don't do all too much because of the limitations that they have been placed under due to constant years of bureaucracy. But it really is unrestricted here to a point.
If you want
Yeah.
to own a gun here in the Netherlands, you first off need a license.
Hmm.
That is strict to get.
Hmm.
You need to have a vault where the gun is stored at.
Hmm.
And I believe you need to take the gun to the police office, or a police officer comes to your house to check it every
Yeah.
2 years or something. I don't know.
That's probably just to
So it's
it's to inspect safety. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with all those things. I mean, I know Americans always have their big privacy, oh, my freedom, and that kind of stuff, so
My freedom.
they would never submit to a police check of their own home. Mostly because I can already tell you how that's going to go, depending upon what color the person is.
Yeah.
But it really is insane to us that in America, you don't have to have a license. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to. Anybody can go get a gun. I can go get a gun tomorrow, and all I have to do is pass a background check. That's it, which is not even that expensive. My brother, who is a deep red conservative, to the point where he has Alex Jones app on his phone, the InfoWars app on his phone. That's how deep red he is.
Woof.
And the only reason why I don't think he's fallen into the trap of Nazism is me, because I constantly yell at him about a bunch of stuff, which we're not going to get too political about this. This is going to be the last discussion we have on guns, and then we're going to move back into Gambino. Is that he came home one day with 3 firearms from a gun store, from a gun shop, gun show. He came home after 6 hours, I think, from a gun show in DC. Actually, I think it was around DC, and he had a shotgun, a M1 Garand, and a Mauser. He came home with those, and he is 18.
Yikes.
ouch.
That was really when I decided, hey, this is a problem. This cannot, and he has them in his room. Like, there's no safe. There's nothing. He just has them in there. And that's not illegal. And I constantly yell at him to say, hey, we do have a gun safe in our basement. I say, go put it in the basement. He goes, well, what if I need to protect myself? I go, we live in the whitest fucking neighborhood, surrounded by trees and other neighbors who are white. Our house has only been broken into once in the 20 years I've lived here. Once. I don't think that they're going to come when you or I are here. And I had to explain that to him, and he just doesn't get it. So, anyways, going back to some of the ideas of Gambino's music video, another thing that I noticed almost immediately was that one scene where the teens with masks on were videotaping everything that was going on with their cell phones. And that's become a definite hallmark nowadays of if any time
Don't step into the violence. Don't step in.
every time police violence, especially towards minorities, occurs, we have cell phone footage of it. We have video camera evidence of it because everybody's so afraid nowadays, especially in minority communities, of a police officer acting, well, just acting and not thinking about his actions and using his power over another civilian to kill them and get away with it. Because I don't know what the laws are for you guys over in the Netherlands, but our police officers can turn off their body cams. They can decide.
Yeah.
They can decide, I don't want to record this incident, and turn it off. Or they can mute the audio, or they can do all these certain things, or they can turn their dashboard cameras off, or the police can just straight up lie about evidence. And it's just so hard for me, even with my white privilege, to look at a police officer like I can trust them. I don't, because it's come to the point where, yes, they're targeting minorities right now, but for how long? Because I'm a poor individual. I drive around in a 2001 Honda which the door fell off of once. I'm not the richest person in the world. How long before they take that aggressive stance towards poor people? How long before they take it towards, non whatever you want to say? I mean, I'm not going to go as far as to say that police force would directly target people who don't have blue eyes and blonde hair, but it could happen. And I have neither of those things. I have green eyes and brown hair. It's just, it's a worrying thought. So
Yeah.
it's just, and Chad, you can give some experience on this, being an African American person, being black in America, especially in the South.
I'll tell you this one thing. Me being me, just how I look, gosh, I'll put it to you in this perspective. The day that I really became truly aware of like just how I look influences things. Just okay, I'll give you the imagery. 6'1", a black guy, pretty big frame, right?
Yeah.
I was like this throughout high school, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Some of my teachers were just outright afraid of me. It's just like I always wondered why though. Like even during like PTA meetings, they couldn't make eye contact with me. They couldn't maintain it. And I'm just like, well shit. Is something wrong with me?
It's just,
And then, it kinda dawned on me, is it because like I don't wholeheartedly try and just say it's just because of that, but you notice the trend and you're like, is it though? Is it because I'm like this? Who knows?
you can never really tell what's going on in people's heads. And I'll give a little bit more of a personal experience. When I was growing up, I had a friend named David. He was a 6'5" black child in the middle school. He was a large boy.
Oof.
And he was on our basketball team, and everybody loved him. Every one of the children, including me, were all his friends. He was a super nice guy. He was the gentlest giant you'd ever see. I ate lunch next to him every single day. He went out with my best friend, in fact, during that time. It was just, he was the nicest person. He actually stayed over at my house and refused to leave because I had Pokemon Coliseum, which is a funny story I might tell someday. He was just such a funny, nerdy character. The first moment I ever met him, I said, "Hey, you got a Pokemon badge on. Do you like Pokemon?" And he goes, "Hell yeah, I love Pokemon." A deep, deep Southern black accent, and he's just the nicest guy. But one of my teachers was less friendly with him. I am not going to give away names because I don't like to do that. I don't like to send people to go attack somebody, even if nobody's watching.
Yeah, no witch hunt.
It's this teacher was a history teacher. She was a very small, I think maybe like 5'4", about the same size as I was in middle school. Just a very small teacher, and she came from a European background. I can't remember where she was from exactly. I think she was from Portugal. But she was just so afraid. She would never ever hand back his papers. She would hand his papers to me to hand to him, which I could never fathom. I was like, why? I mean, he's never hurt anybody. The only time he's ever gotten into a fight was not even his fault. It was somebody who was trying to hit somebody else and hit him instead. And that was it. It's just, I could never understand it as a child. And as I grew up, I finally understood it. I had him for a few other classes in high school. He was still the big boy. He was still on the basketball team. He was still the nicest he could be. Me and him had a history project, or not a history, a social studies project, where we made our own country and we named it the Manly Island, and we had Gurren Lagann's flag as our flag. It was great. He was, he's a
Fucking
fantastic.
nerd.
He's a fantastic guy. I see him in college sometimes too. It never occurred to me as a child that somebody could have such latent hate for somebody. Not even hate, but just
Or not even hate,
just
fear.
fear and discomfort from being next to somebody like that.
And you know what fear brings.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll throw it back to her. Have you had any experience like that? Is it just a uniquely American thing, or is it anything like that over in Netherlands?
I can't speak of experience.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a relatively rural area,
Mm-hmm.
and the black people I had at school, nothing wrong. Teachers were also kind to them, nothing out of the ordinary. But I do know at, let's say, less bright places in the cities, like in Amsterdam and Rotterdam, there it is a bit more edgy, but those places are bad. Not by far not as bad as in America, what I heard, but
Yeah. And
but the only big thing here in the Netherlands, and you may even heard of it, is Black Pete.
I think I've heard of that before.
The children's feast of Sinterklaas.
Mm-hmm.
As Sinterklaas is the old long-beard saint.
Mm-hmm.
He actually existed. And he brings presents for the children,
Yeah.
just like Santa Claus on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Only he has aides,
Hmm.
his helpers that aid him bringing the gifts.
Yeah.
Those are the Black Pete's.
Hmm.
The story is that their faces and all are black because of the chimneys they go through.
Yeah.
So they originally don't even have to be black.
Yeah.
But the entire world only sees that face. And now wants to ban that entire feast.
I could imagine it's something all along the lines of it reminisce of blackface here in America. That's what
Oh boy.
that's what I can think of. And for those of you who don't know, blackface in its quintessential was white actors or white people who would put on
Black makeup and exaggerate the lips
Yeah.
to make it,
to make you look make themselves look like a racial caricature and more like a monkey. Put it that way.
pretty much. Which is why there's been color changes to Mr. Popo's Dragon Ball in the Western releases. As well as Oil Man.
Oh, Chad's gone again.
Those of you. As well as Oil Man from Mega Man, if you know about that entire ordeal.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are like, why are you centering this? And I'm like, boy!
You don't even know. And I don't want to stick with Gambino the whole program here, but I'll talk about one last point, and then we can go on to other music videos that we like and the symbolism behind them, or music artist or whatever. One thing that the last thing that I noticed definitely from the music video was the African dancing, which was traditionally the I think it's called the Boila Boila dance, which is the exaggerated leg movements that he does, which is from South Africa. And he does it with a group of school children who are dressed in South African school children attire, alluding to, I based upon my best guess, is that he is alluding to America's racial problems, like South African apartheid.
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree. Apartheid was modeled pretty much entirely off of Jim Crow laws and the history of racial segregation in America. The whole separate but equal case, Plessy versus Ferguson, and it's really makes you think about certain motifs here in America that are echoed across the world. No matter who or what you ask to a person anywhere in the world, they've heard of America and they've had their impact. They've had their lives impacted by American culture in some way. Even in the heart of North Korea, I guarantee that they have at least know who Uncle Sam is or the caricature of Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
The American culture that has permeated everywhere. You look in Saudi Arabia, they're wearing blue jeans and and other American culture, which is they want to not have it there. Basically, I won't say it's outright banned, but it's highly
Frowned upon.
yeah, frowned upon. And that's really what I draw from this is that America as a culture permeates to other cultures. That's what I imagine he's trying to symbolize with the Boila Boila dance as well as the South African school children. He's saying America was the reason why apartheid it was so bad. America was the starting point. It was the blank canvas that apartheid copied. And I could say that the same is true for like Japan. When Japan was exposed to going back to blackface, when Japan was exposed to those blackface shows, they thought it was fucking hilarious, and that kept as
Yeah.
they kept that as a cultural icon in Japan to this day. You can see that blackface caricature in even modern day makeup in the Galco movement or the Gaio. I forget what it's called, but it's basically Japanese teenagers that darken their skin and put a lot of lipstick around their mouth to look more like a black person. Not only to mention the horrendousness of the racism in Japan when it comes to foreigners who are not a certain color.
Yeah. Or of a certain ideal mindset. That's also a big part of it too.
I know from
you try and stand out, you get pushed into the ground.
I know a friend of mine who moved to Japan. He lives in Kyoto now. He's saying that as long as you're quiet as a foreigner and you don't go and try speaking English everywhere, people are friendly. But the moment you step out of line, the moment you try saying hello to somebody instead of konnichiwa, they hate you. They see you as he put, a gaijin, which is not a friendly term for foreigners.
No, it is.
It's I won't say it's as bad as the N-word, but it's of comparable levels. And
it's pretty bad because it's a discriminatory remark.
Yes. And I guess that's the last point I was gonna make is America's culture permeates to other cultures. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Chad?
I mean, I got nothing to disagree with y'all. Pretty much always figured, yeah, I know the world is definitely watching, and they're taking and picking the wrong parts to emulate. That's all I'm saying.
Watch more High School Musical and less 7 Years of Slave, or 12 Years a Slave. You know, more because I remember meeting somebody.
Or if you do watch it, learn to get the right things.
Chad's gone again.
I said, or if you do watch, 12 Years a Slave, make sure you pick up the correct themes from it, maybe.
Yeah, the one where he kills his master and then runs free. That's the stuff. Go watch the Django. That's the one you need to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Vatar? What do you feel that the American culture has if it has permeated to other countries?
Oh, most definitely.
Hmm.
How I see it, America is long ago, before the Europe came there. Let's see that as a blank canvas.
Yeah, virtually. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of Western culture.
Then Europe and everything came, and a painting was drawn on it. What I feel with America is that even if the painting changed, the story of that painting stayed. So even if the clothes they are wearing on the painting change, even if the colors change, the story stays the same.
Yeah, I think I can get behind that. It, definitely America was a painting painted by blood, most certainly, and not by.
And
Go ahead.
I feel with other cultures that the story of the painting changes too. Even if it by little bits, it changes. And I don't have that feeling with America.
Hmm,
Mm.
that's definitely very true. All right. Well, that's the last depressing thing we're gonna talk about, and that's the last Childish Gambino. This is America. We're gonna talk about. It's a very good music video, steeped with political intent and allusions to everything out there.
Mhm.
And if you have not watched it, I encourage you to please go watch it. Again, it is graphic, it is violent, but it is for a reason. So
Mhm. Oh yeah,
it's
I like
fantastic
to make
music.
an I like to make an important one thing to make sure people understand the distinction about this here, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of people seem to be going around getting the idea that Gambino's getting praised for this because people believe he's quote unquote the first to do this. First of all, everyone knows he's not the first to,
Oh hell
produce a
no,
video with this kind of message.
hell no.
Second of all, this does not produce fake wokeness as some people would like to say. You understand what that term means,
Yeah,
Grant, I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Basically, I'm gonna boil it down. This fake wokeness is like, oh, people watching this and then starting
you've gone again.
oh, am I back now?
Yeah,
My mic's terrible.
yeah.
This is the running meme here. But no, fake wokeness pretty much equates to, you know, uh, believing that you are aware of certain things that are going on.
It is
Whereas you don't do research and you don't like educate yourself about it. You just take surface level stuff that people tell you and run with it. That's fake woke.
it's the false pretense that because you watched one video of Anita Sarkeesian, you know everything there
You
is.
understand politics.
You understand feminist politics and everything there is about it, and that's the fake wokeness that Chad is talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's all I wanted to get out of the way because I've been seeing a lot of that, especially under the video itself, and I'm just like, boy, that's depressing.
Yeah. So, anything you have left to say about that before we move on? All right. Well,
Not really.
Nothing else on that. That was it. That's all I had.
all right. Well, let's talk about some of our favorite music videos and what they meant. For me, when I think about my favorite music videos, I think about some of the classic rock that I grew up with, and I think about some modern hip hop that I've fallen in love with as of recently. Cause I grew up with Jimi Hendrix,
Mm-hmm.
AC/DC, the blue or the sorry the blues, the Blue Oyster Cult, all these fantastic, amazing bands. But on the surface level, some of them I found problematic when I dug deeper into them. You know, the history of Axl Rose, and not only his drug addiction but his underage women at his concerts. And
Yeah.
but what stayed the same for me was watching one video by Aerosmith, which is "Living on the Edge." That is one of my favorite music videos ever, and it really it starts off with these teenagers coming through with hockey pucks, smashing out car windows, banging off of trash cans over and everything. and it's just being rebellious at first, and then the beat drops. Uh, Aerosmith comes in with the powerful vocals, living on the edge, all this stuff. Something's wrong with the world today, and he shows all these different imagery about how, man, he does not know what the fuck is going on in the world today, but holy crap, is it scary and frightening for him. And this was made back in the 70s when, we were likely to get nuked by Russia, which he doesn't talk about too much in the video, but it's a very very good video. I love the symbolism that he uses in it, and especially some of the shots, because I'm a cinematography nerd who likes his shot composition. What about you, Chad or Batar? What do you guys think of when you think of best music videos?
Best music video of all time? Of all time?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
All right, let's drop this unpopular opinion right here, right now.
Go ahead. Slam us with it.
I'm gonna slam you with it.
He's thinking.
Video game donkey. Overpowered music but no.
In seriousness, what's your favorite music video of all time?
Honestly, God, this is gonna be such a I kind of figured that thing when you hear it.
Go ahead, please.
Ludacris's music video "Get Back."
Yeah, I figured that sounds exactly like you.
From the huge hand. Like from minute one, it was like, I'm down. Actually, no. I thought of a better one for real.
It reminds me of the Sprite commercials where he gets disassembled.
I don't need to hear that ever. Please.
All right. What about you?
But the realist around Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity, because
that's a good one. That's a good one. What about
the amount of work that went into it?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, continuing on, you can go ahead, Batar with.
What's your favorite music video? You think?
To be honest, I don't listen to a whole lot of music, let alone watch music videos. But the one song that told me the biggest story is a very old song, and I'm talking about an old song that at the time they didn't even make music videos. It's entirely Dutch, so it's hard to follow for you.
Oh, that's okay.
But this in Dutch it's called Het Dorp, and it's literally translated to the village. It's about how he is still a young boy walking through that old village and expecting nothing to change. Yet as the years go past, everything he once loved as a child moves away to the new age.
Huh. Sounds like a very interesting song. Kind of reminds me of what's that one Elton John song? I think you might know it, Chad.
Hey man, you're asking the wrong guy.
This is our city or something like that. But it basically tells almost the same exact story of him going away to the city and then coming back to his town and realizing everything has changed. It's a very, very interesting take right there. I know that some of my favorite songs that tell a story are some of the classics, such as Bohemian Rhapsody, Hotel California, all these kind of things. But just by the way, what kind of genre is it? Is it like folk music or country or what?
I wouldn't even know how to classify it. I would put it mixed between country and folk music.
Okay, so kind of like traditional.
Yeah.
All right, sounds about cool. I might check it out if you can give me a link to it later. I mean, I won't be able to understand it, but it'll still be interesting to listen to. I've listened to a lot of German songs before because I wanted to understand some of their older culture. Uh, what was that one that I listened to? It was like a German. I think it was a Prussian anthem that I listened to that I found was really really catchy, and it was really really fun and upbeat to listen to. But yeah. As far as the best music video in my opinion of all time, I mean, when I thought of my music video, I thought of Aerosmith, "Living on the Edge," but I don't think that's the best music video of all time. What I would put for a best music video of all time, I would almost go to say something like uh, the Talking Heads with My MTV, or what's that song called? Money for Nothing, Chicks for Free. That song, I don't know if you've ever seen the rotoscoping in that, but it's a really fun, energetic song mixed with some early CGI that just it kind of works, and it's enthralling, and it captivates you and it pulls you in, and it's one of my favorites. But in terms of the best music video, I really can't think of one that just is superior overall over all other music videos that I've watched. I would like to say something like animated, like Felix Cosgrave's Walk the Moon or whatever it's called, or something like Caravan Palace with their Lone Dinger.
Oh yeah.
That's a fantastic music video, which gets across the points that they're trying to make in the song in gory, animal, furry detail.
Yeah.
But really, I think when it comes down to my favorite music video there is, period, full stop, no more procrastinating, no more trying to ponder upon it, I'd have to say it's gotta be the music video for Stylo by Gorillaz. It is such a beautiful music video of really mundane things. It's a high speed car chase. It's a shootout. It's got Bruce Willis in it, but somehow they tie that all together to make one amazing song that ties in with a story that portrays a background of pure, just who knows, because the music's very calm and soft, whereas the background music video is, Murdoch, the bassist for Gorillaz, the cartoon band, slamming his old, I think it's a 96 no, not a 96, an 86 Camaro into fourth gear and just trying to outrun a police officer and then outrunning a bounty hunter who's played by Bruce Willis, while 2D is delivering these haunting solo verses of it's "Oh Style O, come to verse in my own mind," and it's just talking about how did we get here, where do we go from here, and it's a wanderlust song about I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know if I'm gonna die. I don't know. And there's no comfort in not knowing. The song isn't meant to comfort you. The song isn't meant to shelter you. Neither is the music video. If anything, it's meant to distract you. And I really credit Gorillaz for being very out of the box, very influential with their music videos, and extremely good as a band. They're gotta be one of my top 10 favorites of all time. Although, I have a lot of music that I do listen to, everything from heavy metal to modern day rap and R&B and all that kind of stuff. What do you guys think? Like, who's some of your favorite artists to listen to?
Man, honestly, Omega Sparks. Those of you who don't know, hip hop artist that does a lot of well, he's been involved in some video game stuff, but
but for the most part, his stuff, for lack of a better term, it goes hard. All right.
I don't think I've listened to him all that much. But
I'll
yeah,
make you a recommendation once the stream's over.
yeah, definitely check it out as well as the music video. Um, that Batar or the song that
The
Batar was
song
talking.
that Backfire is talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? I know you said you don't listen to a lot of music, Batar, but is there a favorite band that you have, either modern or older, that is one of your
Well,
favorites?
there are good bands that I do like how are they called? Daft Punk. They are good.
Absolutely.
I've heard of them. Yeah, they're pretty good.
But I mostly listen to remixes, such as Nightcore and such.
You ever listen to remixes by Triple Q or
No.
Bitonic Sage? Well, those are some of the best remix artists on YouTube, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They have them and Silva Gunner are some of the best.
No, he doesn't do remixes. He does high quality rips.
Oh yeah,
Make that distinction.
yeah. I'm sorry. Silva Gunner does high quality rips of videos that are of music videos that are sorry, of music from video games that are 100% not edited. uh, but remixes are pretty good overall. I've listened to a fair few remix artists such as the Avalanches and of course Death Grips, who I talk about quite a lot.
None.
If you if you're unaware of the meme behind Death Grips, and I know Naru is somewhere in his room screaming about me not to stop explaining things, but I felt it is necessary to explain certain things. Death Grips is basically a experimental band that is focused on making music that sounds like it was procedurally generated through a trash compactor, and then somehow make it sound really fucking good.
Pretty much.
All right.
They are a experience. They are a disassociation in a audio format, and they are
No,
extremely weird.
Viper's the dissociation.
Oh yeah, Viper, the world's worst rapper, who somehow makes $35,000 a year off his own albums.
Hey
You know
man,
who's
it's because
also
y'all
very
cowards
good?
smoke crack.
What was that, Batar?
Do you know the band or orchestra is more correctly put it?
Mm-hmm.
Two Steps from Hell.
I do know Two Steps
Oh,
in Hell. They are
yes.
really good. They put out
Archangel is my shit.
They put out the what's it called, the 1 Million Man March or Death March or whatever it's called. March to Hell.
Two Steps from Hell is so incredibly good.
They
They
are
really
extremely amazing in terms of, I feel like, I forget how many people that they have. There's something like 30 or 40 people in the actual band, and
something like that. I believe.
it's extremely amazing to I've heard their live shows are crazy too, because they'll start ad-libbing in the middle of their set, where they just get like a cellist or somebody on percussion to just go crazy with a solo.
Yeah.
They are certainly extremely good and virtually unknown. I do talk about them sometimes when I talk about like video game music, especially when it comes to something like Zelda or something. I'm like, it definitely, like, you can have a huge orchestrated score for Zelda and it sound amazing because Nintendo has amazing musical talent when it comes to composing and orchestrating. And
Listen,
I also feel that Two Steps from Hell are equally good in terms of video game scores, if they ever did make a video game score. And if I could choose to make a a background music, not a background, but like an overworld music for a video game, I think I would choose them. I would approach them first. Just say, hey, I have this fantasy world, or I have this sci-fi world, or I have X world, or whatever, and I need you guys to make me a beautiful symphonic score that will blow everybody away.
Mm-hmm.
I think those would be the first guys I turn to and talk about. So,
What I
no, go ahead.
powerful on this Two Steps from Hell music is how good of a story it tells just by playing the music.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, definitely. They're a lot like another band that I sometimes listen to when it comes to just telling a story with sheer music, and that's a, even if you might not believe it, it's Dragon Force. You know, those guys can
Ashes from Dawn, though.
they play their instruments extremely fast, but that's not what the important bit is. The important bit is the stories that they tell in their songs. Heroes, what's it called? Heroes of the Universe is a very, very it's a fun song. It almost makes me feel like I'm playing a RPG or listening to a RPG being told to me, and
Yeah.
it's extremely upbeat and fun. So, anything else you guys want to talk about before we get into some of the fanfics that we've had submitted to us?
Oh yeah, the rapid fire fanfics. Oof.
The rapid fire fanfics.
I got nothing.
Alright, what about you, Bautar?
Not really, only that, but that is still needs to come out. The game, I'm recently starting playing Getting Over It, banging my head on the screen multiple times already,
Oof.
only to find out that he's making another game,
yeah.
flapping over it.
Oh no.
And you are a bird.
Oh no.
It's gonna be Flappy Bird Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. So,
I don't.
I've got the fanfics that are pulled up here. These are some of the rapid fire fanfics that a viewer of ours have submitted. And they are extremely cancerous and
Absolutely. We
absolutely,
wouldn't ask for any less.
absolutely the worst things to ever be on the internet. And I'm going to post them here, guys. And if you would like to follow along with us, I know it's a long-ass link, but there you go.
Good old Wattpad, guys. Good old Wattpad.
All you got to do is scroll down to the bottom and hit the continue reading on next page button. And you should start up with one that says, Sniper X Reader, a fluffy one-shot. And it's immediately I see it and I don't like it. Oof. So, as always, Chad will be our beautiful narrator with his deep, almost Darth Vader-like voice.
James Earl Jones, you mean?
I was about to say it, and then my brain went, wait a minute, it's James Earl Jones.
You're like the second person to say that, and it makes me uncomfortable. But you know what?
I mean, you're also Donkey and CeeLo Green and and Sky.
Attica sometimes comes out.
Attica.
Coach from TF2. Get a big
Coach from TF2. What?
You heard me, boy.
All right, and let me see who's gonna be who. I guess I will be the sniper, and Batar, you can be the reader if you would like.
Yeah, the person whose POV this is from. Well,
This is gonna
Is
be
it meant to be just a few lines?
yeah,
or-
they're short one shots, so that way we can do a bunch of them all together
and die.
and die because I haven't been able to find any like longer fanfics that are not just me bullying a 12-year-old or something.
But that's the most fun part. I'm kidding.
So these are very short ones. And the first one is a
A fluff.
is a fluff one. So whenever you're ready, Chad, take us away. A secret
All
place.
right.
Never to be.
Never to be found again. Your name's POV. I was reading memes on the couch while drinking bleach until my boyfriend Sniper came into the living room of the base.
Oi, Sheila! What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just reading. Favorite memes and relaxing.
Sniper then sat down next to me on the couch. Sniper then gave me a kiss on the cheek, which made me blush bright pink. He chuckled and put me on his lap.
You
I
fucking
put
left
my
him.
overrated memes down and cuddled with him for the rest of the afternoon. Wonderful, great one shot.
I love
Oh,
how they have in brackets favorite meme.
overrated memes.
Yeah, obviously this was made by somebody who was pretending to be one of those 12-year-olds who write memes or write bad fanfics. But
They could have gone deeper.
it could have gone deeper, but it was especially good. Also, are you gonna read the author's notes afterwards? Because it's kind of
Oh no!
important.
Fuck. Okay, fine. Arthur Chan's notes. OMG, did I do good? I hope I did. Sorry for the short one shot. I'm just kind of used to it. At Digital Rift, I stole your cookies. Gremlin face. Hope you enjoyed it at Digital Rift. Why you still reading this? Notice me, senpai. Did you enjoy that video at the top of the page? X3, 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 X3. Happy face. Stop staring at me. Pooties, pooties, pooties. I hate you. I hate you. You don't pay me enough for this. You don't even pay me.
Let's see. Let's see what's next up on the one-shot page. We have Medic X Medic X Reader by the same person. So you know that these are gonna be some quality stuff here.
Okay.
I will be. Let's change it up. Bethar, you can be the medic, and I will be the point of view of the reader. And I want you to give your best German accent that you can do. It would be the best thing.
Oh Lord.
Anyways, as soon as you're ready, Chad. As soon as you're ready, Chad, take us away.
Requested by Bella Ripper. Danke, my friend. Warning, what you're about to read makes no sense at all. Continue, yes or 9. I was sitting on my bed when all of a sudden Medic popped out of nowhere.
Hello, friend slang.
Oh, thank you, Meg. Thank you for the $5, Meg.
Hey, look at that donation. Huh?
Probably my one and only donation. Enjoy.
Well,
Ross?
thanks, Meg. Hi.
What's wrong?
My pet rock died.
Oh, that's
Medic sat down by me on my bed and offered me some hot tea to read.
Keep reading it, Chad. Keep reading it. We are professionals.
I grabbed the tea and spilled it on Scout.
Hey, what the hell is my new shirt?
Poor Scout and Snoopy. Me and Medic giggled like schoolgirls. Medic leaned in and kissed me on the lips. I was surprised at first and melted into the kiss.
Frühlin, would you like for me sometime? I would like. Words. It's really hard to put a German accent on English words.
It's okay. It's okay.
Fraulein, I like you for some time now. Would you be my girlfriend?
Sure.
And everyone died. The end. Did you enjoy that silly one shot I made? I know you guys are probably saying, WTF, did I read? It's called boredom. I was bored while making this and was laughing like, oh, like the redacted I am. You thought I was leaning into it, didn't you?
Um,
We ain't get demonetized. Hey.
I was looking up this person's profile, and their entire discography is just them making really really bad TF2 uh parody fanfics of younger children fanfics, which I think is quite funny because now we can make fun of them and be in on the joke and not have to make fun of children. So this next
Yeah,
one,
no bully.
this next one is Pyro X Reader, and if I can go get my gas mask from my brother, then I will do.
Oh no.
I will be.
He's gonna do
I will
it.
be right back.
Batar, save yourself while you still can.
I think it's already too late.
I mean, you're right, but
I couldn't find it. I guess we're just gonna have to go without the.
just put your hand over your mouth, you idiot.
Batman.
Oh no, Bane, no.
Okay, so I will be Pyro, and let's switch it up. Batar, would you like to be the narrator for this?
Fine.
Okay. Well, Batar will be our narrator, and Chad, you can be the point of view.
Now he must suffer.
This will be the last one that we do, and then we'll go into some questions. I imagine some people have questions for our new addition over here. So whenever you're ready, Batar.
Hey guys, sorry, I have been gone for a while because of freaking school. I hate it. And guess what you girl is a freshman now. Please help me. This was requested by What the Hell?
We knew.
Oh come on, come on. This is. I just want to hear him do it, please.
You gotta do it.
Yahoo! I hope you enjoy it. I do not.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright.
You got it. All right.
I was playing with my MLP toy when Pyro came in.
Sure, Pyro.
Me and Pyro spent the rest of the day playing with ponies, and we cuddled with them. What?
And we cuddled, which made me hot red.
Hot red. Oh.
When we had a bonfire and had some smoke s'mores together, we knew Pyro could be a cute little pyromedic. The scout came in and ruined it all. He's a scunt.
That is the best insult I've ever heard for a scout. And oh, the delivery you gave it was so good. Thank you.
That's great.
Chad, would you give us your best Boston accent here? Oh, there he goes.
All right, sure. All right. Why are you playing ponies with him?
And you're arguing with yourself, Chad.
Oh, great, wonderful. Because I can now. Fuck off, Scout.
That's what she said.
I got out my newspaper and started waggling on him, on the head.
Okay, geez, I'll leave. You better leave.
Then I gave Pyro a kiss on his masked cheek. I could have sworn his mask turned pink. The end.
Oh. Oh, that was so good hearing. I just want to say thank you, Batar, for being forced through that. It was all worth it to hear you say skunt in the best way possible. So that is all for the rapid fire fanfics we have. We only got 5 minutes left of this show. If you have a question, say in the chat, question, who's it for, and then your question. And I'm going to go to our previous video up on YouTube to check if we have any YouTube questions, as well as any PM questions, because apparently some people don't like to put the questions in the comments below, and they decided to PM it to me instead for some reason. So any questions in the chat? Because we don't have any questions on the previous video, although
Doesn't look like there's any in the chat.
I haven't checked on it yet. No. Okay, so I did get a PM question from, oh boy, it's from my brother, and it reads as the following.
Raise your butts.
It reads as the following. Hey, boss, why do you always sound like Lightning McQueen did acid? What? I don't know.
That's a very specific derogatory.
I don't know what my brother meant by that, but I kind of want to ask him what it means after the stream's over. Because that was, I don't know how to respond to that. I guess I can say,
Wow.
ka-chow.
Never ask me for anything ever again. Don't talk to me or my son ever.
I'm
again.
sorry, Sakurai. Oh, well, I guess I only have one question for Bautar, and that was it enjoyable coming on the show?
Well,
That's
do
ne-
you want to
Yeah,
honest
that's an answer.
that's never a good sign. Well, give me your honest answer. Because if it wasn't fun, then there's no point.
It was certainly special.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's our show.
But it was fun. It was fun.
I've been the boss. Who are you people?
Fuck, I don't even know anymore. That Lightning McQueen thing has got me tripping. I'll never let you live this down, by the way.
Okay, please never do. And what's your closing remark over there, Batar?
I never tried weed before, but I guess I need it after this.
All right, and that's the show. We'll be back on Monday, and always remember, folks. First I parked my car, and then I freaked it. See y'all next time.